Hello, everyone.
Hey, how's everyone doing?
We are live and we are excited about this training that we have for you today. And our goal is really to help identify your why and really make sure that you are clear with how to sell it and how to grow your business with your why.
Yes, because it really is all about the why. When you're selling, when you're meeting new people, when you're calling people, it's so important to be able to get that across in an effective way so that people really understand you and your business.
Most definitely. So before we begin, we just want to let you know, those who are on Zoom right now, you will be receiving a PDF, which Emily will tell you.
Yeah, so the PDF that you'll be receiving if you registered for the Zoom webinar, this is the key to successful follow-up. So it has a lot of content in here that's basically going to be going over everything that we're talking about today so that you won't forget anything. And then also it's a follow-up tracker. So this is a really good tool for you to use. We designed it in the way that we do our follow-ups, which we believe that we're pretty successful at. So we wanted to share that with you of how we do follow-up, how to sell your why. And again, the content in here is going to touch on everything that we're talking about today. And it's also an exclusive piece of our course that we're going to be launching, our second online course, the Shiro Business Bootcamp.
Yes, and so if you did not register through Zoom, if you registered, you automatically get this. But if you're on Facebook Live, if you share this training, we will actually reach out and give you this entire PDF, all of this value. And like I said, we do it ourselves and it's really helped.
Yes.
So I really want to kind of go over our why, Emily, why we're doing this training, our why of She Sparks. And if you don't mind, I'll share mine first.
Yeah.
So my why for She Sparks is, I'm going to get emotional, but I wanted to always provide a legacy for many generations to come. My mom passed away when I was 6 with leukemia cancer. I'm the middle child of 2 brothers. I didn't even have a female cousin until I was in high school. And I didn't even have a female boss until I moved to St. George, Utah about 5 years ago. So I was always looking for something. I was searching and I didn't know what it was. And when I went to my first all women's event, I then knew that that was it. I needed to be a part of it. And my why for this training is to help you grow your business. And that's my why and what I care about.
Yeah, and my why is when I was in college, so I graduated with a degree in mass communication with the goal of wanting to become a journalist. And so I did that. I was a journalist for 6 years. During that time, I really focused on women's issues and women in business and some of the unique issues that women face in our community. I wanted to do that because I felt like I was making a difference, right? But when I found out that She Sparks was looking for someone to join their team, I realized this is a much more direct way that I can help women in the community because it's something that I am extremely passionate about, giving women voice and empowerment and things that I didn't grow up with either. Some of these things that I heard a lot of dissenting voices on when I was growing up.
Yeah. And so again, if you want to increase your sales, if you want to capitalize and maximize on any of your relationship and referral strategies, if you want to feel confident with sales and how to really just boost your business overall, this training is for you. So again, make sure to share the video on Facebook to receive this PDF. But all right, let's begin.
Yeah. So the first piece that we want to talk about is really how to determine your value. So what is your time worth? How is your business unique? How are your products and services unique? How are you unique and your team? What are you doing to be unique? And how can you bring your price in line with your value? So we're not talking about your prices here. Think about what is this worth? What is it worth when I say you're a coach, a life coach, when you coach a client, what is it worth to go talk to them? Not what your prices currently are, but what are you actually giving to them? How are you serving others first? How do you serve them and what is that worth, right? So really think about that and think about it in terms of like, what would I pay for this? Make sure that your price is in line with your actual value, right? And then how to sell your experience. I know Sharon is going to talk a little bit more about experience, but really tell your audience through email list or social media, whatever you have going on right now, tell them exactly what it's like to be a client of yours. And then that will help them understand, okay, I can see myself in those shoes. that will help your potential clients look at it and say, yeah, I need this. I can see myself. She's talking to me. I feel like she's really talking to me and I need this. And again, the more authentic you are in your why as you're going through and doing those kinds of posts where you're talking about the experience, the more that your potential clients and audience will see that and relate to it.
Yeah, and I completely agree. And Emily, she's an award-winning journalist, and so she truly knows when it comes to content being authentic and really just, again, tell your clients what is it like working with you. And so first of all, just really think about your why, identify it, because our why, that's what we thrive on in life. That's what sets us with clear expectations when we're down in life or when we're celebrating our successes. It all goes back to your why. And so with your why, it all ties into, like Emily said, the value that you bring. So answer this question. What is the value that you bring? What is it? Because out of anything that you think about, the number one thing it should be is your experience. The experience is what you definitely, that's always the value that you bring. And so think about, real quick, let me pull up my stuff. So think about, like, you know, think of a brand that you absolutely love, a company that you thrive on, you buy their products. Well, why do you buy it? Is it the experience? Is it the way that they make you feel? I mean, the experience, life is about making memories. You know, it's about being with your loved ones and the relationships that you build. And so people crave experiences. They do. They don't crave products and service. They don't. They want the feel goods, as crazy as that is. And we're so busy in this world. We're too busy to be sold to, but we're never, ever too busy to have an amazing experience. And so just really identify what type of experience and those feel goods that you're providing for your clients, not your products and your services.
Yeah. And that is your value. Your experience is your value. Yeah, I love that. So the second piece that we're talking about in this training is ways to increase your confidence while you're selling to other people. And I know this is something that a lot of people struggle with. It's something that sometimes we struggle with, but these are the best tips that we have gathered and things that we would love to share. So the first thing that you have to realize is that when you are talking to someone who has reached out to you, or, you know, maybe you've met them and they've expressed some kind of interest, you have to remember that they are already interested in you and what you have to offer. And all you have to do now is just tell that story. So all you have to do is help them paint the picture in their minds of what is going to happen to them when you fill that need. And so now we're getting into talking about solution selling, which is just what you have to offer is going to fix a specific problem that he or she has. So that is solution selling. You say, oh, you have a problem, here's my solution. It's really simple, right? But solution selling can be used in any industry, and you just have to remember that they have a need, you have something to fill it, and that they're already interested because you know that they have that need. So they've either expressed it or they've responded to an email that you sent or something. So remember that they are already there. They're already there for you. There's abundance and they're there for you.
Yeah.
And then just real quick about objections. So most of the time, this is something that we hear often from our business coach, is that objections are oftentimes just excuses. So when that happens, just really be aware of how you're selling your why, and bring the conversation back to their needs. And, you know, if they still aren't ready to buy, if you've gone over their needs and said, that's a need you have and we can fill it, if they still aren't ready, then you have to just be straight up and say, okay, like you're clearly not ready to receive these benefits.
Yeah,
You know?
most definitely. And so really think about your solution selling. I love that you brought that up, Emily, because people, like, sales for some people is more about the money and the money. It's identifying what the problem is up front and figuring out what that solution is. And even if you get a no or objections, like Emily said, it doesn't mean it's a no forever. We've had a handful of women in She Sparks, a lot actually, where, you know, we provided value, we knew their problem, we identified the solution, but they were just not ready. So 3, 6 months, a year later, they were ready and
Yeah.
they came to us. But it's that follow-up. It's that consistent follow-up, which again, if you're just barely jumping on Facebook, if you share this training on Facebook, you will receive an awesome PDF of the key to successful follow-ups, a tracker, and a whole bunch of content that we're going over.
Real quick, I just want to add, it's the follow-up and it's also the value that you give.
Yeah.
So going back to what we were talking about earlier with just serving first, just knowing that, just serving first and not thinking about the money, like Sharon said.
Yeah. So when you do sales or when you're on the phone, what is your approach? What is the very first thing that you say or ask people? I would be interested for you to actually think about what that is. Do you just jump on into business, or are you being interested and not so much interesting because it's not about you? It's completely about them, especially with solution selling. Another tip that Emily and I have for you regarding how to increase your confidence while selling is understanding your features versus your benefits. Okay. Emily always says this to people. People don't buy products. They don't buy services. They buy the magic. She said that so many different times. Okay, well, how do you feel confident selling that magic? It's by understanding and being clear on what your features are and what your benefits are. And so if you don't mind giving them an example of She Sparks, what are our features versus benefits?
Absolutely. So a really good example in She Sparks of a feature of She Sparks is our events, is our Facebook group, our private Facebook group, is the 50% off that our members get on our online courses. Those are the features. The benefits that we actually sell people on and that we use when we are solution selling is grow your business. Everyone needs more business. Everyone needs more clients.
Yeah.
Get more connections. Everyone needs advice and mentorship when you're an entrepreneur. Like, it's hard. And so that's a benefit of it, is that you can't put a price tag on it.
No.
It's not 50% off our courses. It's, you get this huge benefit. You get lifelong relationships with people who are there to help you and serve you.
Yeah.
So those are the benefits versus the features.
Yeah, it's having that tribe in your back pocket. Okay. It's not actually, like Emily said, the events, that's not She Sparks business at all. It's the way you feel and the way that you can really feel empowered by capitalizing and really just selling your business at full capacity with a safe environment with women who can relate to you. And the events, we don't even push the events anymore. So what are your features and what are your benefits? Another thing we really want to talk about to help you feel confident with sales and growing your business is think about what the whole meaning for testimonials are. Why do people fight and push to get testimonials? I see people saying, hey, you give me a testimonial, I'll give you a gift card. Hey, if you do this. So why? Think about why they're so important, because a lot of people are going to be like, well, it's the Google trends, it's the Google algorithms, it's, it's not, that's not the case at all.
Those are important.
They're important. Yeah, but what testimonials do for our business and why it's important to get them is because it helps clarify other people's needs. It's showing that other people have been connected to you and they're sharing your value. And it really shows how it applies to others and what your current trends in your business really are. And so think about that when next time you go into giving testimonials, talk about why it's important to you if they do that. Not just, if you do it, I'll give you a gift card. If you do this. And when people do take the time to share that value and to share the connection, make it a big deal. Call them and thank them. Okay. Don't be scared of making phone calls. Okay. Emails and text messages are a great way to follow up, but it should not be your number one driver, because emails and texts, they provide little to none connection. And so we've done a lot of strategy sessions where it's like, okay, how are you selling your why? How are you increasing your business? How are you getting referrals? The very last thing they say is follow-ups and picking up that phone. And so, it may, when you're calling people, or whether it's sales or thanking people, just know that you're going to probably get about 20 no's. before you get a yes, but that is completely okay. And so again, that's why this tracker that we're giving, if you share this video on Facebook, is important, because it will help you identify who you're talking to, what you're going to say. And one of my favorite things that Emily did is it's based on weeks. So you can print this out every single week and use it over and over and just put it into a binder like we did.
Real quick, I just want to say we got a really good comment on Facebook from Ryan. Hi, Ryan. How you doing? He said, when I meet someone, I'm never in a hurry. I make them feel like they're the only person that I'm meeting with that day. And I really, really love that. So, and that is, I know Ryan personally, and that is coming from a very genuine place. So make sure that when you're never acting interested and not interesting, right? Because you are interested in what these people have to say. That's so important to be authentic in that. So thank you, Ryan, for bringing that up. I think that's so important to make people feel like that's the only meeting they have that day, right? I have all the time in the world to talk to you, right? Okay, so the third thing that we want to talk about, of course, is how to sell your why. So now we're going to really get into the how. How do you do that? So the first one is relationship marketing, which is what we do. It's all about the why. So again, I'm going to repeat myself a million times, but people don't buy goods. They don't buy services or anything like that. They buy the feeling. They buy the stories that are attached to that. This is where knowing how to sell your why is super, super crucial. Remember that you are unique. You have something extremely important and unique to offer. So hone in on that. Tell your story. Tell your potential buyer how far you've come, what you've struggled with to get to where you are now, because that's being real. You're just talking about who you are and why you're still doing what you're doing, right? So relationship marketing, which is what we do here at She Sparks, is all about learning how to make those authentic connections and build relationships with people who know, like, and trust you to increase business. And we hear that a lot, right? That people will never buy from you unless they know you, unless they like you, unless they trust you.
Yep.
You need those three things. You just do. And there's a lot of ways that you can go about that and doing that on social media and digital marketing, which we have an online course for. But a really big way to do that in your community and have those people around you when you need them the most is relationship marketing, which again is She Sparks business.
Yep. And some tips I would have for you on how to sell your why is every time you're meeting with someone, start with your why. It's exactly what Emily and I did at the very beginning. This is why we're doing this training. This is why at strategy sessions, this is why we're meeting with you. And I shared a very emotional my why about losing my mom, and I want to provide a legacy. And I've been searching for She Sparks my entire life. And so sometimes if it's not there, you have to build it yourself. And it's the story base. Emily and I could have jumped in and said, our why is because we are launching a 6-week Shiro boot camp course that we've been working so hard on that will double your business because we've doubled our business. That's not our why. That's again, that's the feature. That is not, that's not the benefit. And so here's some other tips on how you can sell your why, and that is by providing that connection. So how do you connect with your customers? Do you just take their money, get the service, and then just send them on their way? Hopefully not, because you got to remember that clients, they may be a one and done deal for certain industries, but they always know people. And so what are you doing for your current customers to provide a meaningful, genuine connection outside of email, outside of text, and outside of just solving their solution? So here's some ideas that we've done in the past and that we've helped other people do. Do client appreciation events. I mean, right now, because of COVID, that might be a little bumpy, but there's so many other ways that you can provide connection. So send something in the mail to your clients, make monthly or bi-monthly calls. Here's a tracker for you, just to say hello. Keep the business out of your follow-ups. From time to time, talk about business, so from time to time, ask for business after providing that love and support. But when you're making calls with your current clients, they want to they want what you want as well, and that's not to continue to be sold to. They don't want to feel like a dollar sign. Another way you can how to sell your why, or how to really build strong connections, would be leave your customers a testimonial. You do not, this is funny, people think they have to, you do not have to use people's services or products in order to support them, leaving them a review.
What I like to do when I'm doing that, when I haven't used their services or bought from them, or maybe oftentimes it's an industry that I'm just not the target audience for, so I would never need that product or service. So I'll go on and just talk about my feelings, you know, when I meet with this person, when I say, I met with a rep from such and such company, and you know, he went over their products and whatever, and I just felt so good about that meeting. And the way that he made me feel, such and such, you know, just, you can talk about the way that someone makes you feel, or the knowledge that someone has. So I've done reviews on people who have done like trainings, for example. And so I've said like, he was so knowledgeable, or she was so knowledgeable about this topic. I was so impressed. So just things like that, you can still leave reviews that are really valuable for people.
Yeah, so if you get anything out of this video so far, think about maybe your top 3 clients who have been with you the longest, who has paid you the most money, and who have sent you the most referrals. Just think of those top 3 and really think about what you can do to provide a connection with them. Maybe it's going COVID, maybe it's taking them to the park, buying them lunch, sitting at the park. Maybe it's sending something in the mail. Maybe it's just a phone call, sharing your gratitude. Figure out how to provide a better connection, and that will help you with your relationship marketing and selling your why. So I'm going to jump into now how to get new customers when selling your why. And my question for you listeners is, when you meet someone new, or after you do a sales meeting or a powwow meet and greet meeting, what is your strategy afterwards? Do you just hope you meet with them and then they're going to call back and give you their money? Like, are you putting it in a tracker like we're offering again if you share the video on Facebook? Like, what is your strategy? That's what we do in She Sparks for our tribe, is we really help them identify that strategy and what it looks like. We will give you some freebies. It's kind of a repeat when you're focusing on the connection with your current customers, but send them a thank you email. Like, hey, thank you. I really liked that you shared with me your kids and how your dog broke your leg, and my dog broke my leg, but I do
broke its leg.
Its leg.
You don't have a broke leg.
I don't. My dog does. Oh, okay.
Her dog broke her leg. Just kidding.
Yes. No, my dog did break his leg. It's sad. But like, in your thank you email, repeat your conversation so they know that you listened.
Yeah.
And it didn't just go one ear and out the other. Because if I'm like, Emily, I really enjoyed your pain points and what you've done, and you know how you've been doing this, she's going to be like, wow, Sharon really actually listened to me. So there's one. Also, like, after meeting with someone, you can put them in your emailing list. Like, sure, go ahead and do that, but also put on your calendar or a tracker when you're going to follow up with them next, what was said in your previous meeting and what you're going to say at the next follow-up. So again, just be like, hey, you said that your mom was moving. How is the move? And so now, instead of trying to sell them, you're trying to build that relationship,
and you have something to talk to them about.
Yeah.
I know that sometimes we think like, oh, I want to call this person, I want to follow up. What the heck am I gonna say? What am I gonna talk about? I don't know what to talk about with this person, right? So really have a system when you're following up with people, so that you can remember like, oh, this is what happened, and yeah, okay, I remember this. And then, like Sharon said, you are showing that you're actually listening and paying attention to people, and that you care about them and their lives.
We're going to give you a huge freebie that we only share with our members, but we like really, when we're following up with so many people, we acknowledge their hard work, because as entrepreneurs, salespeople, just whatever industry or title you have, we work our butts off. Right? We always do. So there's so many ways that you can acknowledge and give people recognition, whether it's their website, all of the time and their freaking money that they've spent on their website, a really awesome social media post, jump on and be like, Emily does this all the time, that she's like, I really like that photo, and I like how you said A, B, and C in that message, because it really spoke to me. And this person's like, wow. Are you serious? And then also, like, you can, even after leaving them a testimonial, or if you're not ready to leave them a testimonial, read back their testimonials and share with them how it made you feel. Be like, I'm calling you because my why for calling you is because I really like what other people are saying, and I can't wait to get to know you a little bit more. And then I'm not going to cap this too much, but get introductions, get endorsements. Again, that's what we do for our tribe, for our members, is really build an actual strategy and action plan on a piece of paper. And so that's what we do for our members. And so with that said, my next question for you is, what do you do differently that your customers lack? That's really going to help you when selling your why. And the thing is if you go back to your why, you're going to feel a lot more confident about any type of phone call that you are providing. Yeah. And so we kind of want to share with you a little bit about what we've been working on and why it's so important for us, and why we think this will help double your business, because She Sparks has doubled, and our why is because of you, and we want to give back. So what have we been working on, Emily?
Yeah, so next week we're going to be launching, I mentioned this earlier, we're launching our Shiro Business Bootcamp course. So this course is really designed for women, or anyone really, who's in just a variety of different stages in their business. Here's what we're going over. So it's a 6-week course, 6 weeks of content, and it's designed to go in order. It has so much content to help you grow. So we go more in depth talking about your why. We talk about your branding. We talk about selling. We talk about business plans. So again, if you already have a business plan, let's say you're an established business, this is more of how to make your business plan better. So again, we specifically made it so women, or learners at all different stages of their business, can learn it and can get something out of this course. So business plans, marketing plans, digital marketing, and then how to get into a money-making mindset. That is the final week. So really, this is just an all-encompassing boot camp for your business, where you really have to be honest with yourself and look at some of these worksheets and this content that we've created and say, seriously, how can I get better? Like, this is for people who are very committed to their business. This is for people who are really wanting to grow. This course is not for people who, are not committed to their business and committed to growth.
Yep, and you'll learn a little bit more. We're almost done completing the course, but I'm just looking at the reason why I pulled these out is because Emily's worked really hard on them, and as I look at it and fill it out myself, this will help you double your business. This is everything between her background and my background. I mean, it will really help you thrive, again, with your habits and understanding not just really your brand, but your cornerstones and your pillars, and really how to sell it, critical questions to determine your value, a growth mind map, your time management Bible, and just so much more. So just stay tuned for a little bit of that info, and to get a taste of it, again, just share the Facebook video to get this PDF.
We're so excited. I'm so excited about it. I'm so excited for people to get their hands on it and really see what it can do for them. So
yes.
I'm really excited.
So to end this video, we want to give you some action steps and a quick recap that you can actually do yourself to receive some value with the time of you jumping on and watching this training. So, I mean, I have 3, unless you can think of some, Emily. But one, definitely, share the video to get this PDF, but really, like, identify how you have sold your why in the past, and really identify what you've gained from this training that you did not know or that you've learned. Build a customer list. Do you have a customer list? Do you have not your emailing list, completely different? Do you have the people that you've met with in 2020? Do you have the people that you've actually laughed with and connected with? What are you doing with your customer list? What are you doing with your leads list? Do something about it. And then again, pick 3 of your current clients to do something really nice for them, whether you take them to lunch at the park, send them something in the mail, more than just a text and an email.
Yeah, and I would say, to add on to that, what you can do right now, if you haven't done it yet, just write out your why. So get real with yourself again, be honest, and think about, why am I doing this? And if you've never wrote it out, then do that. It's such a good exercise just to really reflect on it. You know, before I worked for She Sparks, I never really had done that. I had never really had to write it and like really think about it. But it has been so helpful for me as I move through and making decisions. You're knowing your why. It's not good for selling. It's good to just know your why and what your business stands on when you're making decisions. Because you can look at that and say, is this in line with my why?
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
why am I even doing this? It has nothing to do with why I even got into the business. I know so many people who just kind of veer off in so many different directions. And it's because I think that they don't keep in mind their why.
Yeah. And that's one thing I love about Emily, because anytime I want to do something new or something that we can add as a benefit, she does ask me, you know, Sharon, does this tie into our why? If so, how? And it's like, oh, because in the moment when making decisions or even selling,
Mm-hmm.
we live in that moment, and sometimes it can block us and help us or make us choose the wrong decision.
Yeah, we get all excited about a new opportunity or
Yeah.
yeah.
And put your why or your strategies, put it somewhere where you can see it consistently. Like, I'm looking around in our room right now and we do. And I think that's why we're so confident with sales and why She Sparks has doubled, is because we see it constantly at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And so my last thing for you viewers, men and women, we do offer some things for men. We have our event tomorrow morning for men and women.
Mm-hmm.
Our niche is women. Again, that ties into our why. We wouldn't be where we're at if it wasn't for men. But really reach out to us on doing a strategy session and let us show you what we do for our tribe, how to get more introductions, how to capitalize more in relationship strategies, how to double your business,
Mm-hmm.
and get these PDFs. Because if you're a part of our tribe, we will give you as many PDFs as you need to double your business. And so I hope you got something out of this video. We will see you at our upcoming events. We will put our online courses below. We have our social media deep dive. If you're struggling with social media and you don't know how to grow organically, we will put that below. If you're a She Sparks member, you get it for 50% off. So make sure that you reach out to us to get that. And then stay tuned for our She Sparks Business Boot Camp to really help identify and grow your business. With that said, we love you, community, and we'll see you at our event.
Okay,
See ya.
bye.